I like this one. I and
Uh-oh.
this sound no uh-ohs. No.
I think he farted a few times in the show, and
I
that's
think
what.
he did as well.
And it was a joke. The only way I would get this mold is if they do the purple repaint for Universe. And these are going to be going live at Walmart Collectors Con next week, and supposedly they're going to be $45 each. Are you going to be buying those Seeker sneakers down there?
Those are all you, my brother.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'd hate to see the prices of the Airport Toys R Us. They are. I love how stubby and chunky they are with their little hands. Welcome back to the channel, guys. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And we've got some very exciting news because we actually hit our 500th subscriber. So thank you everybody to have subscribed. It was a pleasure to do this for all you guys since we do this for you. And yeah, we actually hit our goal of doing it before TFCon. Any words, Bobby?
Oh, I just want to say thank you. Really appreciate it, and really appreciate the comments. This goes to show that James and I came up with something that you guys like. So now that we hit 500, we have some new updates that we'll be sharing soon as well about the channel.
Yes, we will be sharing those very soon. But let's get on to the news, and the first thing is Fortnite. I dropped the official trailer. Now, did you watch this trailer, Bobby?
Unfortunately, I did not watch the trailer yet, so I have to catch that after we finish today.
Okay, you're not missing much. I was kind of shocked that it was Megatron and Bumblebee only. There was no Optimus. So that kind of shows where Hasbro is with Bumblebee. So maybe they're going to come out with another pack with with Optimus, or maybe this was just a special Megatron and Bumblebee, trailer. I don't know, but either which way, Megatron looks good. I don't like Bumblebee.
I was just about to say, I like the way this Megatron looks. So maybe they'll do something like this will be, a good and bad. So Megatron and Bumblebee, and then they'll probably do like a Optimus and Starscream, or Optimus and Soundwave, or something like that.
They showed off Optimus. I remember talking about this now that we
a while ago.
It's Optimus and then the bus from Fortnite that transforms. And it was a unique figure and actually, or not figure, a unique model, and actually looked kind of cool because it was different. But yeah, time will tell.
Yes.
So we do have a lot of this stuff before we get into toys. So let's chug on through. And the first thing is Hasbro had applied for several Transformers 1 trademarks. So they applied for 4. The most notable ones are entertainment services, so the production of movies. I mean, we knew that. Toy action figures. Again, that's a given. Downloadable game software, which that one kind of threw me for a loop. So I guess they're going to be making either an app or a, because it says it's in connection with computers, computer tablets, communication devices, and mobile telephones. So I'm assuming some sort of app, not a video game. And printed children's books and comic books and stuff. So they might just be covering their bases just in case they do anything. But yeah, so I think we'll be seeing more of this very soon.
And I hear that it takes about a year for trademarks to go through. I'm sure Hasbro has money, so they can probably do some things, but makes sense since we're, just short of a year from the movie being released, hopefully.
Yeah. Next, Hasbro was also seen at the Brand Licensing Expo in Europe for 2023. And the biggest things that I read when I read through this was that there was a VR game. Didn't know they were coming out with that. And then we got more pictures of Bobby's beautiful collaboration with Hasbro. So, Bobby, tell us about these clothes.
I have no idea what's going on with these clothes. I actually went and looked at some of the line, and I'm happy to say that I would change my name to Robert if I got associated with these clothes, if there was a mistake. I don't know. I looked at, I think I may have saw one thing that was kind of, sort of, possibly, I wouldn't throw back at somebody if they bought it for me, but it would probably still be in the back of my closet. The other stuff, I'm going to actually have to, delete people's phone numbers if they bought it from me or something like that.
But I'm glad that there are some people out there that do like this stuff, that maybe Transformers will be, they'll be like, oh, this is cool. Let me go buy Optimus Prime that transforms itself, because they're going to have money to be able to buy these clothes. And, maybe Robeson will get another set. All right. Moving on to something that was kind of exciting, because Toys R Us is opening 24 stores. Before you get too excited, though, if you read the fine print, that includes airports and cruise ships.
I know.
So I don't think these are going to be stores. I think these are going to be like the Macy's store, just in little areas, maybe in a mall. But if they're in cruise ships, does not scream fully fledged Toys R Us with a wall of toys.
Well, honestly, I think the days of us having walls of toys in stores now is pretty gone. I hate to say it. But I mean, I've been on several cruises, and they do have those little pop-up stores and I can see these on like Disney cruises where kids are all over the place, and maybe I don't know, 20 by 40 or something like that store or whatever would be really good for them. But I'm just happy that we may see them. I've gone into Macy's, really haven't seen much in the Toys R Us that are there. So, it's a start.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'd hate to see the prices of the airport Toys R Us figures, because those are going to be $45 for a deluxe because they're in the airport.
Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah. All right. So next we have something that, why don't you introduce?
I saw this and got super excited because Toylanta, I've never heard of it. It's happening in my city, so happy to be able to go to something that's close to home. I'm hoping it's not a bust. The good thing is I will have just come back from California, because it's or like a week or two after TFCon LA. So I will be able to say that I enjoyed seeing friends and family in LA and San Diego, and then get to come home and go to another toy convention. So seems cool for me.
Yeah, that is really cool. I'm looking forward to hearing your report on how this went.
Yes, and hopefully I can find some toy stores in Atlanta, because I haven't found any that really sell Transformers besides your Walmart and Targets.
Just to be clear, this is at Hilton in Atlanta, so very fancy. So
well,
let me know how it is.
It's actually north of the city. I mean, being in Atlanta, anything in the suburbs is considered Atlanta as well. Yeah. So it's in the suburbs.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll be looking forward to hearing how it is, and if that Optimus Prime is really that big next to He-Man, because I think there's some photoshopping going on. Because I think that's MP01.
Yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah, it does look cool. Okay, let's get on to just announced. We have a lot of stuff that was announced, so I front-loaded this with all the interesting stuff. So let's start off with some Masterpiece stuff, and we've got Masterpiece RHINOX. Now, we do have a few things to show off with this, but what are your initial takes on this?
I have a joke to tell, and it's funny to me. So we're watching something online, and as I was kind of putting things together and stuff like that, and my wife says, "Why is he threatening people with bubble blowers?" And I lost I just lost it, and she was dead serious, and I said, "No, those are his weapons." She was like, he shoots bubbles at people? That's not very, scary. And I just was just like, okay, I can never look at his weapons as anything but bubble blowers now. So
they did always confuse me. They're very 90s. They're a Gatling gun with a saw blade and maces on them. Very strange, very 90s, but they could be bubbles of corrosive acid. I mean, that would be kind of scary. That would kill somebody.
They're bubble blowers from now on.
Yeah. Well, let's go through some pictures. Here's the robot mode with showing the bubble blower in high definition, and it also has like the spark that he has. I think they get it in one episode. I really don't remember a lot of the story, but it looks fine in robot mode.
It looks better.
It doesn't blow me away. I don't like that the CGI-ness of this. They made it so show accurate, and it suffers from it. Just like the G1s do, in my opinion. It suffers from being too show accurate instead of being an upgrade. It's exactly what you see on the show. And 90s CGI, just like 80s animation, was not perfect. And here it is in the beast mode, and I think this does not look good, honestly. I know it's very accurate, but why does he have teeth in his behind? Have you ever heard of that movie Teeth?
I have not.
Okay, well, that's what this reminds me of. If you know, you know.
The thing is, and I can't remember, but I remember like in one of the, not even core class, one of the figures, it was like a butt gun or something like that we reviewed. It was, yes. And I'm just like, what is this infatuation with, teeth and butts and guns and butts and stuff? So, yeah, that's.
I think he farted a few times in the show, and that's
what he did as well.
And it was a joke, yeah. But here he is with some other figures. I don't like that alt mode at all, but it's all of the Beast Wars MPs from Hasbro, or Takara, excuse me, have that same problem where they look pieced together. And I don't. I understand they don't transform like they should. Like, trans are, I have, the trans this right here. This can transform because the show was based on the toy. This was not, so yeah. And let's see, it'll be released in June of 2024 for approximately 3,500 and 200 yen, which is roughly $235.
Well, that's means definitely gonna be a KO if I decide to get this in my collection. Yeah, not gonna happen here.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen with me because
I don't need you right now.
Saved. It's not going to happen to me because I don't collect Masterpiece Maximals. I'm only collecting the cons. Now, if they did do a Waspinator and it still had kind of that funkiness that this has, I would still buy it because it's Waspinator. But definitely not for RHINOX or any of the Maximals in Season 1. Maybe a repaint of Tiger Hawk into Razor Claw like we talked about before. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I'm out.
Why don't we move on? And they showed off they called it this is going to be the Transformers Dramatic Capture Series. So it is not the premium one that we thought. They're calling it Dramatic Capture Series. Nemesis Bridge with Shockwave, Megatron, Soundwave, and it is a blue Soundwave. We can see it. It's very, very dark. And it's exactly what we thought. It's going to be about $111, and it'll be released in March of 2024. Are you going to be picking this up?
I like the clean Megatron. Looks really good. I will be hopefully seeing a clearance on this, but I doubt it. But I don't need it. At least right now. Again, I'm a kind of an impulse buyer. If I saw it somewhere, maybe, but as of now, no.
Yeah, I'm completely out on this. There's no reason for me to get it. Like, literally no reason. And it's not a Shining Magnus situation like yours. Okay, next we've got Silverbolt. So this is Legacy Silverbolt. They showed it off. We have a second set of pictures. These ones are new. The other ones were leaked. Do you have anything to say about this?
I just don't get it. And I know you love this figure. I just do not get it. Well, let's be clear about it. I don't love this figure. I think the character is interesting. I wouldn't say I love him, but I remember having the toy as a kid, just like you with Hound. I remember having it, so I have that connection. Now, Hound was your first one, so maybe it's like you with
Mirage. I'm assuming that wasn't one of your first ones. I have that connection with the character. I remember seeing him in the TV show, and he's fun. But this does not do it for me. The proportions look wonky. Here, we're going to go back. I don't know why he looks so thick in the center, and the arms and everything are so skinny. I don't like how they have the legs in beast mode. I think they're supposed to go be folded the other way. I know that's hard to imagine. At least that's how I always had mine as a kid. I don't like that the top of the thighs is smooth instead of hairy. That little ball part.
Mm-hmm.
That just throws off the whole aesthetic of the figure being a beast figure if it just has random robot parts. The wings look too tiny, at least in bot mode. So I'm 100% skipping this. The only way I would get this mold is if they do the purple repaint for Universe. Transart has my money as far as it comes with Silverbolt. That's going to be not only a bigger figure, it's going to be a better figure, probably better made. Yeah, it's going to be probably double the price, but that's only double the price. So yeah, I'm out on this.
I'm out on both. So this was, I as I stated, I just don't get it. Wolf or dog bird or wolf bird, whatever.
It was the 90s. TMNT, Street Sharks, they were mixing everything together. So they literally, that's why they did the line, was because it was different and it was radical. So I love them. I think it's unique. I would kill for more Fusors. It's just something fun, which, sometimes Transformers doesn't have.
Again, it was such a change from what I was used to, and it just lost me. It's like, like anything,
Mm-hmm.
if it starts going too far from the original or the origin, it just loses interest. So it's kind of like what Genders did to me.
I completely understand. It's the same thing with G1 with me.
Right.
G1 doesn't go far enough. There's nothing there to spark my attention. Where are the weird hybrids? There are none. It's just cars. And I'm not a car guy. So I understand where you're coming from. That's why I make my own stories where they're together. So let's move on. And this is something you wanted. Are you still going to be getting this? This is the Phantom Confrontation, which would be an amazing band name. Ghost of Starscream versus Waspinator. The Waspinator doesn't look too much different, but I guess they had to throw in another figure in there.
Yeah, and now that we're seeing, and talked about this in some of the comments, the first pictures, they look clear for the Waspinator.
Waspinator, I mean, yeah.
Right, and so now that I'm looking at it, it just looks like there might be a little shine on the feet. I was looking at the feet in particular. Doesn't necessarily look clear as I thought it was, but I don't know. I haven't pulled out my Waspinator in a long time to even know what it looks like in comparison. I'm
looking at him right now, and it just looks like, to me, it's a little show accurate of the color scheme, and the paints look shinier. I think the wings are purple on this one even. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what what the price is going to be on this.
Let me check. I don't have that down.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be 75, I would assume.
Yeah. 55, you might have me. 75, I'm going to wait till you get to 55.
Well, I don't think any of these are going to go on sale. I think they're all going to be sold really fast.
I think the same as well. So probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
These are my two favorite sets out of all the kind of releases they've been doing.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I just don't need them. I already have them.
Correct.
So, well, not a clear Starscream, but I don't want a clear Starscream anyways. Okay, next we've got these guys, which are the 40th anniversary retro reissues of Blaster and Soundwave. And these are going to be going live at Walmart Collectors Con next week, and supposedly they're going to be $45 each. So I already have a Soundwave reissue from like 2008, 2009, so I don't need that. And Blaster, I don't want that either. Boxes look nice though, and I know you're going to be picking up like multiples of each of these probably to one to display and one to play with?
I like the boxes, and I will probably be picking these up, even though probably have 3 or 4 sound waves already. Yeah, we'll have to do this will be a set that I'm not going to open. So it's not going to be another short that we do of what the bot still needs to open. So I will get these and just keep them here because I have some that are already open to play with.
They would look really good on a wall, but it doesn't look like they have a little thing that pops out. No. So, you know, you have to put them on a shelf. All right, next, we don't really have to talk about these too much because we talked about them a lot. They also showed off the pre-orders for March 2024 as well for Novocaine and the Prime. The only thing really of note is that the Prime comes in an enclosed box.
And that box looks big, like wide. Wide.
Depth-wise, yeah, I agree. I don't know. I'm assuming they changed the box just because of the U.S. box's Bumblebee, that buzzworthy Bumblebee.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just my mouth hurts again. I need some Novocaine, and not that kind.
You do. Go ahead and buy one. Okay, so that's all of the Takara pre-orders. So let's move into something else, and this is Queen Studios' Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal statue. It's 82 centimeters high. There's only going to be 99 worldwide. I couldn't find a price on it, but it's suspected to come out in the third quarter of 24. I was about to say, why are there so many statues of Primal? But then I saw it was limited to 99 copies, so they realized that as well.
We already started it. You know, we realized that it wasn't going good. So how many do we have? 100? Oh, one just broke. Okay, stop there.
Exactly. Because I think this is like the 4th statue we've seen. So
honestly, though, this doesn't look bad.
None of them look bad. I'm not knocking them at all. I just didn't think the movie was popular enough to have 4 Optimus Primal statues in the same mode on the same scene, pretty much.
I like this one. This sound no. This just reminds me of the trailer. You know, before we went to go see the movie, I was like, oh, okay, this looks like it might be interesting.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's no uh-ohs. These are the oh no's. These are oh no's.
All right. Well, we'll have to look forward to seeing this in Bobby's collection because, you know.
Oh no.
He likes it.
Oh no.
Well, what about these? These are Transformers X Irregular Choice clothing line. There's going to be a 27-piece assortment of unisex shoes, bags, and accessories. And it's going to have Megatron, Soundwave, Optimus, Bumblebee, and all that stuff. Are you going to be buying those Seeker sneakers down there?
Those are all you, my brother. Those those are closer to shoes you would wear than shoes I would wear.
So I actually looked up this company, Irregular Choice, and they got some crazy stuff. Literally insane. They have one that the heel of the heel is like a comic PAL for DC. Like where it's all pointed and like the comic books and it's PAL. And I'm like, that's really cool. I like this stuff. Well, then we take that back. I like everything but those shoes. I do not like the Seeker shoes. I think there's too much going on. But those heels, I might get that for, my wife or something. Because those are cool. I got to say. Maybe I'll wear them at the next TFCon after these come out. But these things are like $300 each. So even if I wanted them, I would be out.
I wonder if my wife did ask me, do people wear those? I said, I'm sure somebody does. And then she asked, do I like the shoes? Am I gonna buy the sneakers? And I looked at her with a straight face and said, "Did you lose your damn mind?" And and she said, "Well, you like Transformers?" And I said, "I do, the toys." And it's not to knock the shoes or anything. They just do not go with anything that, like, my style or anything. So,
well, and it'd be different if they were sneakers in like Seeker colors.
yes.
You know, or like if I had a pair of Vans and they had pictures of Transformers on it or Decepticons, I'd be totally cool with that. But the whole wing with the null rays and the strap over it, and the red and the yellow and the blue and the purple, it's too much.
Yeah, it's not. Now, I do want to see somebody with these on though, and no joke. I take pictures. There will be no fun poked or anything like that. I would love to see somebody with them on, because I think you know, they are rockable. I think people can rock. Not for me though. And honestly, I would like to see somebody in those heels. You know, and again, my wife's not going to do it, but I would like to see somebody who can put that together and rock those heels.
I mean, it'd be easy to make an outfit with those heels. Honestly, that's why I think I like the heels better than the other ones, because the heels, it's just print.
Yeah,
I can deal with that. You know, you could wear all black with a yellow jacket. Fine. You know, the shoes are the selling point. The sneakers or whatever those are, that's a whole other game.
Yeah.
You might as well glue a G1 Starscream to the side of your shoe. But yeah, so let us know if you're going to be getting this. I am curious to see what the rest of the 27 pieces or 23 pieces at this point are.
I can see somebody rocking these at the cosplay at TFCon.
Yeah. Yeah, those heels would do a good like female Bumblebee. The other ones I don't even know what those are supposed to be. So anyways, let's move on to these guys. So these are Mochi Bots. They showed off Wave 2, and they have Megatron, Shattered Glass Megatron, and 3 Seekers. These are the cutest little things I've ever seen. And I want to know how much they are and how to get them, because if they're cheap, I might get all those Decepticons. They are. I love how stubby and chunky they are with their little hands. They are adorable.
So what's cheap?
$4.99.
Oh, God, yeah, that is like extremely cheap. I was thinking
these would have to be like dollar store things for me to pick up.
Oh, I was thinking like maybe $10 each.
No, too much. Maybe I might pick up the Megatron then at that point. Or the 2 Shattered Glass ones, because honestly, I think those are the best.
I would probably pick up the Shattered Glass Prime and the regular Megatron at $10 each. I
would have to figure that would be pushing it. That's $20 to go towards a Transart figure. Okay, next we've got these guys, which are the Beast Wars SD action figures. So I've seen a lot more SD figures than this. They have slightly bigger heads, but not too big. And we got Cheetor, Black Arachnia, Rat Trap, Waspinator, Rhinox, and Megatron, both with different faces as well. I'm not knocking anybody who gets these. That's what I'm going to say first. Second of all, is there anybody that this is for? Legitimately.
For you?
No. I do want a Waspinator, but this ain't it. Is there people out there that just collect this type of stuff for Transformers memorabilia instead of collecting the figures that transform? I do not know. That is a serious question.
Honestly, this is another one of those things. Growing up with Transformers, the thing that made Transformers so cool for me is that I got a robot and I got a car. 2 things that were like the best things to have as a kid. You know, you had Hot Wheel cars, and you had like action figures. You put the 2 together and you had a Transformer. That sold it for me. So trying to buy stuff now that doesn't transform, to me, it doesn't say Transformers. It may look like it, but it doesn't speak Transformers and what I know Transformers to be. But I thought you would like these.
They do look really good. I'm not going to lie. They look good. They look well made. They're just not, they're not SD and cute enough. Their head isn't the size of their body. and they're not little enough. If there was a Black Arachnia this big and the head was half of the body and it was $9.99, I'd pick that up. But these are too normal. They're not deformed, and they're just deformed. They're not super deformed.
Yeah, they're definitely not super deformed.
Yeah,
but they're cute. If
they're cute, yeah.
They
look well painted. I will give them that too.
They rarely do.
Okay, next we have comics. We haven't talked about this in a while because the news have been so dense lately. So I guess the first round of the Sky Blooms comics has already sold out before it even hit retailers, which is really cool for Transformers. So they're going to be doing a second run, and these are the covers for the second run.
I actually was looking today to go purchase. I was going to go to a comic store. I've never bought comics before. I was going to go and try to pick this up, and I saw that it was sold out, and I was just like, wow, that's really good for Transformers and what's going on. Bad for me, but I guess I guess there was a sign here that I need to get some more figures instead of comics, but I do want to pick these up and see what they're about.
Yeah, I'm going to not be picking them up. I don't like the artwork. I think it is too toon accurate, if that makes sense. Like the one thing I saw was when Starscream, spoilers, crushed a guy. And he had like perfectly human fingers, like tubes. He didn't have like any joints, and that's what I really liked about the Transformers comics when I was growing up, is they looked like robots. They didn't look like humans in cardboard costumes. So I'm completely out on these, but I'm very happy to everybody that's enjoying the comics.
Yeah. I'm looking at that Starscream right on this, and those legs look like he needs to hit the gym a little bit.
I think those are stylized from another artist.
Okay.
Because they look way more detailed than what I've seen inside the comics.
Yeah, that looks really bad. But I'll leave it there.
Moving on to some third-party news, Funby Studios showed off the wings that we talked about last time. And I guess they just clip over the wings. And what do you think about this?
I'm not a fan.
They kind of look droopy, don't they?
They do.
And I don't know if that's comic accurate or not. Please correct us in the comments.
Yeah, I definitely don't know, but it's almost like Spider-Man.
Like the symbol on his chest.
Yeah. And especially looking at the picture at the bottom right, it really, if I glance, I'm like, oh, that's Spider-Man in a white outfit, and I'm doing that. I'm like, looking real quick, and yeah, I'm just not a fan. And so I'm glad I didn't pick up the figure. And I definitely wouldn't be picking up these upgrades. And I like Funby Studios, or printing out these, I should say. So not a fan.
Yeah, I like the ones I have on my S&D Nova Prime upgrade set better. They're straight, and they have a bend in them and a ratchet, and they could go which way. But I was curious to see what this looks like in vehicle mode. I was not disappointed. This thing looks no knocking Funby Studios. They had to work with what they had to work with. So this was Hasbro's doing. But this looks kind of funny. I kind of want it. I would get it just for this mode because it's almost like a meme.
I saw this and was like, yep, completely out. This is terrible. I don't even know what's going on. It's almost like a slow-mo effect where if it had like one and it's going up and they're like showing the motion of it moving, but it's actually like that all the time.
They actually showed the wings down as well, but that completely covers the cab. So exactly. I thought this would be a better representation.
Yeah, I did not like the pictures at all.
Yeah, he had to do what he had to do to make it. I mean, I understand it. So moving on to another studio, this is New Supply FX, which I've never heard about until this, and I looked it up, and they got some stuff that I think you're gonna you're going to be buying a lot from them. But these are kits for MMC, Rumble, and Frenzy. And I guess it has airbrushed smoke. So you can pre-order these right now. It looks really good. And I want to see what else they have in their collection, in their catalog. There we go. Catalog. Yeah.
Well, I have bought from them before. And I actually have some of these for the Robot Paradise, or the fans toys.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they like you said, they do have some really, really cool stuff. They have some connectors where you can actually have the tapes jumping out of sound waves.
Oh, I remember you showing me those. Yes. Okay.
So they have some really, really, really cool stuff. You know, we haven't talked about them enough, and that, I guess that's probably my fault, because I have bought from them and I like their stuff. It looks really good. And, you know, this Rumble doing this is what made me love Rumble. You know, when I remember an episode where he made some Autobots fall because, you know, he hit them with the Rumble, with the with his pile drivers. And so I just thought that was really cool for a Transformer.
Yeah, it is. And just not sponsored, but if you do want to look it up, it's NUSUPPLYFX. You can find them probably on all the socials, but go look them up. They have some cool stuff.
Yep.
Finally, we got This Is All For You. We've got Dr. Wu's Metroplex Xiao Meng. So it looks like you cursed yourself when you talked about the year of the Metroplexes next year. So here it is in base mode, and here it is in aircraft carrier mode, spaceship mode. I don't really know what that's supposed to be with Metroplex, but if you look really closely, the head looks big, and that's because it is a super deformed figure.
I'm out on this.
I thought so. I think if that head was normal sized, you would probably have picked it up.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
The base mode looks great. The attack vehicle, I can't remember what they called it. It looks good, but this bot mode, that I don't like the super deformed head. Also, I have the other Legends size Metroplex coming, so I'm good with that. And I've purchased a couple of Dr. Wu figures for that. And, you know, they came out with the Triptychon that we reviewed, and I didn't really like that one as well, Dr. Wu's Triptychon.
Wasn't that a little tiny one, though?
Yeah, a little tiny one, but that turned into kind of like the base and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that these kind of scale together. Don't know for sure, but...
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. I think that Triptychon was a one-off thing, because that turned into a cube, if I'm not mistaken, and it was, supposed to go with the cube line.
It turned to a little base,
and I think it turned into a cube as well.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the cube, but
I could be wrong. I think this is a standalone. This is going to be bigger for their other figures, because it looks a little too detailed to be that small.
It does, but it's also...
But who knows? Maybe it's a magic, and then if it is that small, good on them. Honestly, this would be an engineering feat.
But the thing with Metroplex, though, is that he's not one of those really difficult Transformers. Like, I mean, literally, the front of his knee, falls down, and you flip something out the back, and that's the kind of and you spread his legs apart, and you basically have that combination right there. So the details are really in the robot, the details of the robot. That just kind of highlight what's going on. So, and again, that's how G1 Metroplex was. Of course, there's probably some more engineering here, but I think that it's more so based off of, the figure itself is pretty detailed in bot mode. So it's just kind of opening those things up and laying them out to achieve base modes.
Well, I'll be interested to see if this is as tiny as you say, because I didn't even think about that. Because you'd be definitely out if it's that small. I know that.
Yeah. But I could be wrong, and who knows? But
time will tell.
Yeah.
So let's get into some updates. And the first one I got just for you, and that is Big Load. Now, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go?
Go ahead. I already know you're gonna hate it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is a big load to me. This is the worst long haul out of all of them, and that includes Hasbro's. I'm gonna put it my. I think this thing, it doesn't have any purple on it. The feet look horrible. I don't like how scrawny it is. That is the worst combined mode. He literally just becomes the crotch. Like, he's literally going to be the laughing stock of all the Constructicons. And this and look at it looks like one of those chimpanzees, or not chimpanzees, one of those monkeys with the big noses. That's what that alt mode. Why is it so long in the front? It looks like like a giant nose. So I think this deserves to be in the can, but that's just me. I have some other pictures for all of you guys that like it like Bobby. So why don't we go through those, and I will quit my moaning, and I'll let you talk about how much you like the figure. So the first thing I have is the big nose truck. What do you think?
This is amazing. I think I love it. This is like right now. This might be my favorite Devastator. Long haul. It looks great.
Isn't it supposed to be flat in the front though?
Not that I remember.
Because that's how all of the dump trucks I know are flat in the front. They don't have that piece jutting out.
Not that I mean, and granted, it's. Let's see. I was trying to see because I do have a G1 Devastator gift set up here. I can't see the long haul right now, but I actually. I think it's okay, and they're not too flat. It is a little long. I do see that, but it's not something that takes away from it. And I've seen other photos, and I don't know if you have any up, but
I have
that front. You can change the front grill part as well.
I did not notice that. I do not have a picture of that.
Yeah,
because the next one is this.
Yeah. Now, the part that does kind of make me say what's going on is how the two wheels in the back kind of come together, and the how the front of it is upside down. It's usually turned the other way, so I don't know what that's about. So that's a little different to me. But I don't know. So I don't know if it's going to plug into something else or what, but I love how like the bed actually dumps and well, I'll let you go through the pictures, but yeah.
Well, that's all I have for the vehicle mode, so go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, so the bed actually, I've seen pictures where they had energon cubes in the back, and the bed actually, lifts up so they can step out and stuff, and I thought that was really cool. The colors are right. I know that was something that with the early prototypes you really didn't like as well. I know you hate the white head, but I actually started looking at some of the other things, and it's actually pretty accurate. So I'm completely happy with this so far.
Okay. So I looked it up while you were talking, and he does not. It's flatter, but it looks like it's not. The G1 toy is more broad, so it does stick out, but it's more long.
Right.
So it has a different look to it, if that makes sense. And that's where I was getting confused. But here's the bot mode. Now he has black arms and a white head in the cartoon.
I don't remember.
Because if he does, they have to go lock up that person, because I'm looking at the G1 toy, and he's supposed to have purple arms and a black head.
So that was one of the
This looks horrible.
That was one of the things that I didn't pay. I mean, hell, he could have had.
I'm looking it up. So he had a square cube head with a silver face coming out of it. And he did have black arms.
I mean, I don't. One company that I don't knock for accuracy is Xtransbots. They usually, really hit home on their impressions of, whether it be tune accuracy or, toy accuracy. How they'll come out with two figures that one applies to one and one applies to the other. I just think that this is a very good looking figure. And
what about all that kibble on the side of his legs? They couldn't have folded that in somehow. Like that's the first thing that stood out to me was he has the side, there's big old pieces of the truck on the side and they don't fold in. I get it. That's what it looked like in the toy and that's what the cartoon looks like. But that don't mean I have to like it. I remember thinking that when I saw the prototype at LA or Chicago. I don't remember which one.
Chicago, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing that and I'll give kudos to Fans Hobby for this with their double dealer. You know, they came out with the wings looking one way and people complained about it and they're like, hey, we'll change it and make it, you know, this way. So you had an option. It would be nice if for people who don't want it to, you know, look the way it looked on the toy and G1, if it could fold down so it didn't have that, but I don't mind that at all.
Okay. Well, you know, and that's why I'm glad this figure's coming out because it makes people like you very, very happy and it saves me a lot of money.
Now, do you have any other pictures before I talk about this?
I have these.
Yes, there we go. This figure is also big because that it's not Dante. It's I can't think of the name.
I know it's Grapple, but
it's Grapple. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but he's a big figure. So seeing that he's kind of,
it says about 8.85 inches.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's a good size figure, which means that this might be a huge combiner.
Well, not if they all compress as much as he does. He adds this much height to the figure.
Well, it's still 6 of them, though.
I'm just saying, if the waist, you know, looking at this, it looks like the way he makes up without the back flap about, you know,
he's like
30% of this figure becomes part of the combiner. That's not that much. But it all determines, though, if they have fake parts. I don't know. Right. If they start adding all those fake parts, then it could be a ginormous figure.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. It looks great. It looks better to me than all the other Devastators we have coming out, or that, honestly, that have come out. So
I'm very happy that you like this. To me, this is the worst one of the bunch. When I think of Long Haul, I think of a big brute. And maybe that's because he's the waist pants of Devastator, so he always has to be bigger. And this does the opposite. He looks way too skinny, even though I will say it looks better than the last pictures we've seen of him. Yeah. It does look more proportionate. I will say that. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't strike me as a Constructicon either. Where's the purple? Constructicon should all have purple and green, and he has no purple on him whatsoever.
Yeah, the windows?
No, I mean, I feel, if honestly, I think I would like this figure a lot more if he just had purple arms. And I know that's not too accurate, and they'll probably come out with a toy accurate color. Let's be honest.
They will.
But yeah, this does not look good to me.
They did it with their Minosaurs, so I can.
And I'll probably have a completely different take when that happens.
Yeah.
Not that I would buy it, because Xtransbot Combiner seems like the worst decision they could make because of their QC issues. But you know, it is what it is.
And that just means I'll have another set of another Devastator set.
You mean you're gonna have like 3 or 4? You're gonna get this color, the toy color, the yellow. They'll probably come out with an orange one. That's 4 right there. And then, you know, then if they make a movie colored version, you'll probably buy that one too.
No. I don't like the movie Devastator. No, not gonna do that.
If it's G1 Devastator in those colors, you'll be like, it's unique enough.
You think you know me, don't you?
When it comes to Transformers a little bit. I know you're not going to get this thing, though. So this is Scylla from Romance Workshop. And I was correct that this is from Castlevania, but the comments did let me know this is from Symphony of the Night, which is a very classic game. I kind of wish this thing was a little bit bigger because I probably would get it. But as a Legends figure, I'm not going to get it.
Well, when I knew I heard the name before, but, you know, this also takes me back to Greek mythology. And
I was going to say that's where I knew the name from, so I didn't know if it was referencing something specific.
Yeah, you know, Odysseus, the Odyssey, which was my favorite story in high school. Can't believe it. I loved Greek mythology, so Scylla and Charybdis. And I was just stuck on those
The head sticking out.
The eels. I think they're eels. Those things were just killing me. So I would not be picking this up. I actually think the bot mode looks really, really good though. But I still wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I would pick it up if it was bigger. Like if it was chug scale and for a decent price, I'd probably be picking it up. But I think it's 10 centimeters tall, way too short. Not picking it up.
Not gonna happen.
Unless it's a little terror. But they also showed off more pictures of their Rampage. And this fits in with the samurai aesthetic of Iron Factory. And it looks fine for what it is. I like that all of the crab legs turn into arms, so it can have that, that god look with all the different arms and stuff. But even if this was larger, masterpiece scaled or chug scale, I wouldn't be picking this up. It's too much of a departure, and we do not have a normal Rampage. So I want that first.
I'm right there with you in terms of not picking it up.
Yeah.
Everything else is,
It looks good though.
It does, but I don't have a connection to the character either. So surprisingly, the crabs that I have are with my Predacons and the Kang toys. Which I was a little disappointed initially when I was like, "What, crab hands? That's stupid." And then when I got it, I was like, "This is amazing."
It's at least something instead of just putting them off to the side.
Yes.
They also showed off this, which you thought was a Seacon. You got
excited
excited because you did want Legend Seacons, I guess. But no, this is Depth Charge. And he's like a saint or, a priest or something. And again, it looks interesting, but not as Depth Charge. I do like that alt mode, though. I think that thing looks really cool.
I saw the alt mode and I got excited thinking, are we getting Seacons? And I didn't see the size or anything like that. I just saw the picture. And then, I immediately shared it with you and you were like, what? No, this. I was just like, no, wait, is it a Seacon? And I was hurt. I got excited. I got excited thinking that we're finally branching out to some new combiners. Seacons. Computron. Please, somebody. Computron. Abominus.
And then Depth Charge.
Yeah, and it's not.
I, just like Rampage, I want a Transart Depth Charge before I would buy anything like this. Depth Charge is a really, really cool character. So is Rampage. They're both very deep and, a little dark, which I like. So I will be picking both of those up when they come out, eventually.
Yeah, I will not be picking those up. Maybe eventually if the wind blows a nice way or something like that, but not.
Yeah. Hey, that Rampage is amazing. How it could turn into a tank as well as a crab. It's so cool. Anyways, off topic. Let's talk about this, which is MB08A. I guess they're getting new backpacks.
I think depending on the price.
Overlord. This is Overlord, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to make us buy new figures or if it's, little add-ons. I mean, the good thing is Fans Hobby has kind of had add-on kits that you can purchase so you don't have to go buy a whole new figure. So I'm assuming that's what they're going to be doing with this.
Yeah. Now, will you be picking these up?
$20, yes.
Okay. All right.
Anything more than that, I don't know.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. The next one is all for you. It's tiny, and it's a movie prime. I know this is one of your favorite designs. So this is Bylon Bad Toys Movie Prime. No scale yet. I'm assuming it's Legends because of the different hands.
I was looking for the log off. I was looking for my mouse so I can log off. Saying that mess.
Hey, it looks fine for what it is.
No knock to anybody who loves these figures. I just don't like the movie figures. They're just too far off from what I know Prime to be. And that's my big gripe with movie figures. It is what it looks like the figure from the movie. So there's that.
I did put this in though because I thought it was hilarious that the hooks are just hanging off the side of it.
This reminded me of whichever Batman movie it was, where he's chasing after somebody in the Batmobile, and they make a left turn, and he shoots, this grappling hook thing out and grabs a pole, and then swings the car around so he can make the left turn without slowing down. That's what that looks like to me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. If that was like what we saw in the movie, I would actually be like, hey, that's really kind of cool. But this just looks like, as you would say,
it was just a place for them to put it in.
It's
I mean, that's yeah. I mean, honestly, I think everybody would just keep those off to the side.
Yes.
All of the weapons except for maybe the guns.
Yeah. I'm actually okay with the swords on the top. I mean, those hooks should have pegged in under the underneath
or on the side.
Or on the side even. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some recently released things. And the first thing is Studio Series Primal is coming out. I couldn't find any other pictures than this one. But you can see how small leader class figures have gotten from this.
I can't. I just can't. I can't. I'm actually waiting for you to tear into this. When I saw this picture, I was like, "Oh, this is all James." I'm just gonna sit back and say, "Go."
I am so over complaining about Hasbro and their sizes, but this is obviously taking away all of the accessories. This is a Voyager class figure that they put in a bigger one. Now, I did read a few reports that there are some cool things with how it transforms, and somebody else, it was on Reddit, and somebody posted, well, why is it interesting? Oh, the hands flip around and it's really cool. And I'm like, the hands flip to the beast hands? Like, no knock to that Redditor, but I'm like, I need to see it in person because reading it made it not seem so cool. But the figure doesn't look bad. I'm going to say that first of all. I was going to get this figure, and then I saw the size, and I'm completely out. I don't have much else to say. I feel like everybody already knows what I'm going to say. It's too tiny to be $55+.
So I was doing something at my desk in my little recording area, and I was looking at my screwdriver, right? And I was changing some things out, and I saw this, and I said, "This is what you think you're getting, and this is what you get."
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, I assumed with leader class it would be a little bit bigger, 8 inches tall. I'd be happy with it, but it's like 6 inches tall.
Man.
Maybe it's 6.5, 7 inches. I don't know the actual size, but either which way, it's just too small to be a leader class figure.
I laughed. I could not keep it together. I cracked up laughing. I was just like, James is gonna go on a tangent with this one. I'm so proud of you. You're growing.
I am exhausted with talking about Hasbro and how tiny their figures have gotten. That's what it is.
Oh, that's so funny.
I am exhausted.
Oh man,
the box art looks good. There you go. I'll take one out of your book. Your book. This again. I want this figure. If this was Voyager class, $34.99, I would have picked this up, even without all the extra axes and all that stuff. I would have picked it up and just slapped a Decepticon symbol on it and made it somebody new. But it's not worth it for leader class prices. That's what you're getting. Look, that's exactly what you're getting. Okay, let's end this off on a high note. What do you think about this figure? This is Dr. Wu Sandstorm, and we've got some really cool in-hand images of it. Yeah.
I just needed to get here. I'm actually really excited to get this figure. One, because I'll finally have a Sandstorm. And honestly, it's going to be my first Dr. Wu figure. So I want to get it and see what all the hoopla is about Dr. Wu, and maybe grab some more.
Yeah, I think this thing looks really good. The hips, the ball joints on the hips, I think are a little too small. But again, at the size of this figure, I don't knock it. Yeah. You know, it's just like the last figure we talked about. Since it's so small, if the hips were weird, you can't say anything about Hasbro. But this one looks really good. I like it. I also like that this person. So the pictures come from a guy who was all in. His name was all in Chinese characters, so I cannot give you credit. But go look up the pictures. I'm sure you could find him. His name. They found this like trike mode, and since I'm getting this as like a my own mini con type of thing, I'm going to give him his own name. I think I might steal this, and he's going to be a quadruple changer because this is actually kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. I hope. I mean, as long as it still rolls, you can't see what the clearance is with being on the the cloth or whatever. But yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah. So. All right, well, that is everything we have for you. Let us know what you think below, and Bobby, tell them what they should need to do.
Hey, thank you again for helping us get to 500. Now, on to bigger and better goals. We're shooting for 1,000.
We'll get there, so especially with your guys' support, we're very, very ecstatic about it.
Yes, so please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't. We really appreciate the feedback in the comments. Click that little bell for notifications.
There you go.
We are going to be adding some new content coming soon.
Yes. So we already started with, trying out these new reviews. So stay tuned and hopefully you like it.
Yes. So as always, till all debates are won, thank you guys from Bot vs. Con.